If you haven't seen my first Korea video yet, feel free to check that out before watching this vlog. If you already have, or you don't really care, then let's roll. What time is it? It's 12?
Yeah, it's 12:40.
12:40.
Good afternoon, people. It's me, Daniel, and I'm here with Peter and a friend Linda over there. And guess what? We are in Korea! Mainly South Korea. Anywho, this is the start of this cinematic vlog for this video. This is our first day here. We landed here last night at around 10 p.m. We'll be staying here for 2 weeks in South Korea. We'll be traveling between Seoul to Busan and then to Jeju Island. So I'll be taking my camera with me along for this journey, and I hope you guys enjoy all the scenery and footage I'll be taking. Yeah, first day in Korea, let's do this. Whoosh. God damn it. Whoosh doosh. So, the first day was pretty chill. We got tattoos. Yep, tattoos on the very first day. Originally, before our Korea trip, both Linda and I already had plans for getting a tattoo in Korea. Peter was still on the fence about his. However, since Linda was the first one to lock down her artist with a confirmed time and date, I decided that it would only be more efficient to try and book at the same studio at the same day as well. Luckily, due to the vast amount of artists from the studio, both Peter and I managed to lock in our own confirmed appointments with the same date and time too. We both chose simple, minimal designs that weren't artist specific, lasting approximately an hour each, more or less, while Linda's took close to 3 hours-ish. So, while that was happening, Peter and I decided to explore the surrounding streets to kill time. When Linda was done, we went out to eat, finding this cool-ass Korean barbecue joint where they film shows and stuff, and had our first official dinner in South Korea. And that was our first day in Seoul.
Left and right, left and right, left and right. 17.
The second day was dedicated to the district Namsan, famously known for the Namsan Seoul Tower, which is this huge as hell communication and observation tower on top of the Namsan mountain. Fun fact, this tower is actually the second highest point in Seoul. Anywho, the day started with a brunch at a nearby Japanese Korean fusion style restaurant. We had katsu chicken, we had pork belly, we had a beef patty with an egg on top, we had miso soup. It was a pretty good brunch. After our meal, we headed to the tower. We opted on walking for the more scenic experience. It was supposed to take around 1 to 2 hours, but it ended up being around 4-ish hours instead, because your boy kept stopping and taking back sick footage. All jokes aside though, Peter and Linda were amazingly patient with me, so kudos to them. After an eventful hike, which involved a lot of stairs and also stopping by a park, which we later found it was for elderly people, we finally arrived at our destination. Into the cable cars we went, and up to the tower we climbed. Gorgeous views if you were next to the windows. As always, when we got up, we split, me exploring and taking footage, whilst Linda and Peter went exploring and not taking footage. Well, they were probably taking Instagram photos or stories or something like that. Tourist things. The tower and the observatory deck was beaut. There were a lot of cool things to see and experience. Once you got inside the actual building, there was this cool ass hallway full of TVs as the entrance, and we got some pretty cool shots from that. They also had this pretty staircase with fairy lights that had this little pagoda thing. There was this cute buddy and this one, and they also had a section for the Love Locks project too. As the night turned late, we were getting pretty tired, so we ended our night with a taxi back to our Airbnb, grabbing some takeaway food along the way from a nearby E-Mart for dinner, ending our second day in Korea.
오빤 강남스타일.
On the third day, we headed to Gangnam. Yep, if y'all didn't know, Gangnam Style is literally a song about the specific district in Seoul. We started the day with a quiet breakfast back in our Airbnb, buying food for Paris Baguette, which is like a fancier version of Bread Top or Bon Bon Bakery, and then took the train to the district to do our shopping. Well, more like Peter and Linda do their shopping while Daniel takes footage. I literally spent the whole day recording the streets of Gangnam. As day turned into night, we headed out to the Starfield COEX Mall to see the great library, Starfield Library. Damn, this library was very, very beautiful, and I almost got kicked out for recording because apparently my equipment looks too professional and the guard here thought I was recording for some commercial or something. Yep, this guard right here, the one walking up to me in slow motion. Anyways, outside of the shopping complex was actually a Macca's, or McDonald's for you non-Aussies, so we decided to dine in for dinner there, and damn, Korean Macca's was really good. I actually forgot to record any of the meals here we had at Macca's, but here's a reel of my Instagram stories. After dinner and shopping, we decided to call it a night and head home to rest up for day 4. Say hi. So it is day 4 in our Korea trip right now. We just finished having some amazing breakfast at Egg Drop, and then Peter over here got a fresh haircut, looking real nice and what's that word? Pretty? Yep. What? Yep. Ball. I think I got that right. So today we'll be going to the Hanok Palace, Hanok Village. We are going to Hanok Village. You guys can obviously tell I know the itinerary of our trip, right? So today we'll be going to the Changnyeonggung Palace. I totally butchered that, I apologize. And also oh my God. And Hanok Village. So we'll be dressing up in these really nice hanbok garment outfit things and exploring the palace and the temple. Alright, our subway train is arriving now, so we're about to head out.
Euphoria.
So, off we went to our main destination for the day, the Changnyeonggung Palace. I totally butchered that. And as mentioned before, we went in style, going to a hanbok rental store beforehand to look killer. And also to save entry fees. The store was owned by a lovely elderly couple and they did their best to help us with our outfits. It was pretty affordable too. We paid like $30 to $45 AUD each to rent for 2 to 3 hours. And that's literally how long we spent at the palace too, so we got our money's worth. The palace was beautiful, and although it wasn't the same one with all the gangster looking guards and all, it was still a cool place to wander around to experience the remnants of a past kingdom. We originally wanted to go to the secret garden too, but it was closed off for reasons I can't remember. During our visit, guess what I was doing? That's right, taking footage, and most of that time included taking hyperlapses, which I didn't even use for the cinematic video anyway. Nice. Afterwards, we headed to the Bokchon Hanok village. It's basically like this Korean traditional village located on a hillside. It was a very peaceful place to take a stroll through, and it had so many little alleyways you could traverse through. When dusk hit, we headed back into the main city to explore the night market within the busy streets of the shopping mall district. I wasn't allowed to take much footage due to privacy concerns for certain vendors. Here's all the footage I could take. After some more shopping from Peter and Linda, we went and grabbed some fried chicken at Mum's Touch. Then, we headed home and knocked out cause that day was tiring as hell.
강남스타일.
The next day was round 2 of Gangnam and Starfield, but this time we finally got to meet up with our first friend from Korea, Leah. Before the shopping began, Leah took us to a nearby restaurant for brunch. The food was hearty and warm and was a great way to start the day in cold weather. Just like the other day of shopping, I went out and spent most of the day recording while the others went shop into shop to buy what they needed. Leah had to leave unfortunately, but before she did, she took us to Seoul, which is basically a dessert cafe and is synonymously known for its bingsu, which is shaved ice dessert. And guys, this was so good. Like, I actually cannot even enjoy bingsu back in Australia anymore, cause that's literally how good it was. We had 2 types of bingsu. One was basically a chocolate/cocoa version, and the other one was like a nutty bingsu. It had like peanuts and walnuts and shaved nuts as well, and all that. Lots of nuts. Anyways, both were really good, and this is a dish I've literally been thinking about every week since the Korea trip. After we said our goodbyes, we went back to Starfield Co-X library so I could take more footage of the library and low-key hope that the same guard wasn't there. He wasn't, thank Lord. And we explored the mall a bit more, then had some dinner, which was KFC. And I gotta say, this was really good. They had this truffle chicken thing and my god, we need this in Australia. was it?
Kind of good. Kind of red though.
Anyways, after our Kentucky Fried Feast, we headed home. Day 6 was our last day in Seoul, and because of that, we had to check out our luggage and bring it around with us to our next destination. Before we headed off from Mapo, Seoul, the area we lived in, we quickly went to have brunch nearby where they made some amazing roast pork and kimchi stew. Let's just take some time to appreciate all of this, y'all. Enjoy. We also had dumplings. As soon as we finished our meal, we headed off to the Dongdaemun Design Plaza and got to meet up with our second friend, Chloe. Chloe was amazing. Even though she was already spending almost the whole day with us, she was also willing to hold our luggage while we traveled to Busan and Jeju Island for the next few days. The design place was cool as hell, and it was literally just a building displaying different forms of architectural and product design. They had all these individual rooms displaying different things, which was neat, and even exploring the exterior outside was amazing both during the day and night. They also had a little collectible section where you can purchase little figurines and stuff, and a shop dedicated to SM Town. By the way, while we were recording this particular scene here, we got approached by security guards and almost got kicked out. Apparently I looked too professional, and the guard insisted I needed a proper filming permit to record here. Although thanks to Chloe, she cleared up the situation for us and we decided to end our visit right then and there. Anyways, afterwards Chloe took us to a shopping plaza across the road from the design building and we got some really good dinner and milk tea. We had chicken, we had melted cheese, seaweed fried rice. And guys, this milk tea was actually really good, like I'm not even kidding. It was like the perfect blend of milk, tea and sugar, and no certain flavor was dominating the other. After dinner, it was getting late, so we said our goodbyes to Chloe and headed home to rest up for the next day. The next morning, we rose up nice and early. Actually, we didn't. We woke up late and Linda was like, "Guys, it's 6 o'clock," which was when we were supposed to leave, and we rushed to the station. We missed our first train because Peter and I were incompetent and lost as fuck. And we ended up having to wait another 20 minutes for our next train, which wasn't too bad, but we did have to pay extra for a second set of tickets. Anyways, after a hectic morning, we finally got on the train, which was the train to Busan. The train was a pretty peaceful ride and took about 3 hours. I spent some time taking really nice footage and then I knocked out for like 2 hours because I was still pretty wrecked from the day before. We finally arrived at Busan at around noonish and had a quick brunch within the Busan train station at Holly's Coffee. It was crazy. Around this time, the COVID-19 breakout happened in Daegu, and both Linda and Peter were getting emergency alerts every few hours from the government notifying us if there were any infections nearby and encouraging us to stay indoors. As much as I was keen to try out the seafood market and to explore Busan properly, all we got to do that day was visit the Gamcheon Culture Village, which was basically Korea's colorful village, and then headed to our Airbnb and rest. We figured it'd be wiser to sacrifice our 2 days in Busan to be safe, rather than risk catching the virus and suffering for the rest of the trip if we were to get it. The Culture Village was a beautiful place and extremely serene. Just be aware that it is situated on a mountainside, so expect stairs. A lot of stairs. But yeah, after our visit to the village, we headed back to our Airbnb and literally napped until the evening, had some dinner from a nearby restaurant and 7-Eleven and Netflix, and then slept some more. Oh my god, that was a mouthful. What time is it?
12.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's me, the Daniel, your boy. So we're currently in Busan right now. We arrived here yesterday morning at around 10 a.m. I'd say. Yeah, and it's a lot warmer than it is in Seoul right now, so we can relax on the clothes a bit. No swearing, man. I'm joking. As you guys can see, we're currently having breakfast or brunch or whatever our first meal is. What I'm eating right now is called a honey cake. This shit is really good. It's basically like kind of like a pancake, but in between there's like a layer of like honey. And then I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we've literally been having this every day as our kind of like our first like mini snack before we start. I'm just still that. We've also been having this milk. So this one's strawberry, but we also the main flavor that we've been having is the banana milk. This stuff is real good, yo. So yeah, definitely do recommend. Hot. Yeah, huh?
H-O-T. Okay.
H-O-T, okay, this is what it's called in Korean.
H-O-T-E, okay, but I wanted you to say it.
Hot deal.
Hot dog. Hot deal.
Hot dog.
Hot dog.
Hot dog.
Hot dog. It sounds like hot dog.
Hot dog.
It's a street food.
So for the 2 days here in Busan, our intention is just to stay indoors as much as we can. We do plan to go to the beach later just to do a little bit of exploring, but we're gonna have a minimal contact with people as possible just because, you know, health comes first. So yeah, tomorrow morning we'll be flying off to Jeju Island, so we'll see you guys there.
What the shit?
They're mocking me because I do that clap thing in my other vlogs, but you know what? After our brunch, we taxied off to the Hyundai beach. Although we didn't do much besides taking footage and exploring, we did get to hang out with a squad of good boys and good girls. However, due to the cold and windy weather, we didn't stay too long and headed back to our Airbnb for the rest of the day. And yeah, that was it. Our journey in Busan ended the next day. But with the end of every journey, one begins anew. So off we went early in the morning to Jeju Island. We took a plane there because Jeju Island is literally an island off from the mainland of Korea. The flight was close to 2 hours, and when we arrived, it was still pretty early before we could check in our Airbnb. So we decided to explore the coast and visit a specific cafe in Jeju City. This cafe was Cafe Cafe Almonson. Anyways, the reason why we wanted to go to this cafe was because it's actually owned and managed by G-Dragon of Big Bang. Cool, right?
Wow, fantastic, baby.
I only found out about this during our trip earlier. When Linda initially proposed for us to visit this cafe during our trip planning, I just assumed it was a cafe dedicated to G-Dragon, like some sort of fan thing, and thought, oh yeah, I guess that's cool. I didn't know it was actually a cafe owned by G-Dragon. But yeah, it was still pretty cool nonetheless. What's up, y'all? Pia and Linda both in their own rooms, just chilling and getting ready to sleep, I think, because we have an early morning tomorrow. The original plan today was to go to the Hallasan National Park, but we're going to do that tomorrow now, so yeah, stay tuned for that. Yeah, we just spent the whole day getting comfortable with this Airbnb place. It's really, really nice actually. It's probably the best place out of this whole trip so far. It just looks so modern and yeah, it's cool. It's cool. We did go out to have some dinner before at a nearby place. It was like a 12-minute walk. We had some burgers. I think the place was called Tamnam. Let me search it out. It's called Tamna Burger. So yeah, I was pretty close. But yeah, now I was feeling a bit peckish, so I'm having some instant noodles. Yeah, I've been pretty addicted to all the noodles in Korea so far. All of it's so good, man. Australia really needs to step up the game in the variety and the quality of instant noodles, you know? Also gonna eat this as well as dessert. It's like a little fish cake thing, and there's like a sweet kind of like mochi filling in the middle. Anyhow, that's a short update. Enjoy the rest of the vlog. What's up, guys? Alright, so we're back in Seoul. We're currently in Incheon right now. Yeah. We landed here around an hour ago from Jeju Island. We're currently chilling in this nice cute little cafe called Chocho. I think that's the English name. I don't really know the Korean name, but yeah, we're having some really nice delicious cakes and some cool drinks to cool us down because it is getting pretty sunny right now and it's kind of heating up, which is nice. It's a nice change of pace from the winter weather. Currently still oh my God. Anywho, so when we were in Jeju Island, unfortunately we didn't get to go to the Hallasan National Park. Apparently there's a period of time when you can only actually visit the trail, which is 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. to the afternoon. So you only have that 6-hour window of opportunity to come to the trail and do the hike. If you come later, then they're not gonna let you in, and unfortunately that's what happened to us. We came at around 1 p.m. Yeah, we were pretty bummed out about that, but fortunately the lady at the ticket booth thing was really nice and she helped us find another track nearby to hike. It is a lot shorter. The Hallasan National Park one takes around 4 hours, but the one she recommended us to go to only took around an hour. It was really uphill, so it's pretty reminiscent of the Dandenong Ranges 1,000 Steps, but worse.
Yeah, much worse.
Anywho, when we got to the peak, it was really nice up there. We got some really cool views, and obviously I got some pretty cool footage as well. And because of the weather up there, there was a lot of fog still circulating around the mountains, so we got some really nice, like, mysterious ambience kind of stuff, if you guys know what I mean. But yeah, that was our final day at Jeju Island, and now we're back here in, like I said, Seoul. Yeah, and we only have, how many days do we have here left, guys? 2?
1.5.
So we have at most 2 days here in Seoul. We're currently waiting to check into our Airbnb, hence why we're in this cafe. Other than that, the plan is to just do a bit of last minute shopping, get some last minute footage in as well, and we're gonna meet up with some friends here that are gonna take us around to do some last minute exploring as well. So a lot of last minute stuff for our last few days. Oh my god.
Yeah, so that's about it, guys. We're gonna continue eating this. We'll be right back after this short break.
Stay tuned.
After our pit stop at the cafe, we visited a local park to do some more exploring. It was a pretty cool park. Yeah. Afterwards, we checked into our Airbnb and took a nap. Then, we finally got to have dinner with our third Korean friend, Haley. Haley had just finished work that day and made the time to take us to a barbecue joint, which was so good. When we got to the restaurant, we originally ordered a set with a variety of dishes, which was all good. But the one that stood out was this pork. Guess how many times we reordered this? 3? 4? Nah fam, 8 times. After being filled with pork and soju, we said our goodbyes to Haley and went home to rest for our last day. Day 12, our last day in South Korea. We started the day by properly checking out of our last Airbnb. Then, we headed out for brunch at this cute little cafe, eating some comforting food, fluffy pancakes, sandwiches, and hot coffee and chocolate to go against the cold rain we had to deal with. Then, it was off to our last destination, which was the Lotte World Mall. I thought that the COEX Mall was big, but holy shit, this one was so much bigger, and it was a very grand and beautiful place too. Before you enter, you see like this massive ass tower that is ridiculously so tall that it disappears in the clouds when you look up at it. This shopping mall actually happens to have Korea's tallest building, 5th tallest structure globally, and our original plan was to go up and see the view from above the clouds. Unfortunately, due to the bad weather and the coronavirus situation escalating, parts of the mall was closed off and this secluded the tower as well, I think. Anyways, despite that, this day was much needed for me as it gave me a chance to do last minute shopping for gifts for my friends back at home. At this point, Chloe reunited with us to return our luggage and spent more time with us before we left. This Lotte shopping world is amazing. As you enter, you are greeted with these fancy looking decorations, and for a second I felt like I wasn't bougie enough to be allowed to even shop in here. They had a dedicated food court that was almost like amusement park themed, based on the Lotte World characters. They also had this Studio Ghibli themed store, which was cool as hell, and we spent quite a bit of time in there. Afterwards, we basically killed the rest of the day exploring the shopping center and taking more footage, had a final dinner with Chloe, and then took our last taxi back to Seoul Incheon Airport. And that was the end of our South Korea trip. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this detailed recount of my trip. I know it took a while for it to come out, but I hope this length made up for it. Just want to say thank you to all of you guys who made it to the end and for watching the video in the first place. Your support means a lot. As always, feel free to like this video and or leave some feedback, and if you are keen for more videos in the future, consider subscribing. Alright, bye y'all.